So I went to the DMV.
Yeah.
16. I think.
Yeah,
so
probably.
I started late. I didn't get my learner's permit like the split fucking second I could, like everyone else in Texas.
Yeah, that was me.
I didn't get it until I was 16, which is by that point everyone was driving and like getting in wrecks. And I went to the DMV and they had me put my... So I had always passed vision tests with flying colors because it was just the fucking...
Okay,
Well, no,
brag about
not
it.
because I was good at them. Not because I studied for them.
Not because I'm so skilled at it.
But because they were just asking you, okay, look at this poster across the wall and like read it to us. And I'm like, yeah, any fucking jackass in the world can read a fucking poster, idiot.
No, we can't.
But turns out no one can. But I only could because one of my eyes was farsighted and one of my eyes is nearsighted.
Oh, wild. Oh my God, you're not like other girls.
No, I'm like different.
You're
In
like
fact, they're also different colors
So
too.
unusual.
And
they like change colors.
yes,
like,
don't test
depending
me
on
on
the
that.
light.
Do not look at my eyes. They are different colors. I promise you that. So I would always pass the vision tests unbeknownst to me or the fucking doctor optometrists. They never picked up on the fact that
Wild.
I needed glasses because one eye was doing all the heavy lifting and the other eye was just for like books. And we know how often that eye was getting used. 0. So,
That's weird. They didn't do the thing where they like cover one eye and make you read it, and then
I
cover
think
the
they
other
only
eye
did.
and make
I
you
think
read
they
it.
only did that when I was young, and at that point, it didn't like it was fine.
You hadn't,
like my
yeah,
eyes hadn't. My eyes hadn't gone
declined.
insane. So, I go to the DMV, and they have you put your head into that like device. That's
The
gonna,
fucking
like,
artificer steampunk
yeah, it's
goggles.
gonna fucking insert like a xenomorph into your like brain stem and fucking coil up and
swirl it around.
wrap you in. But that forces you to use both eyes
Right.
because it has like the two channels, and I couldn't read it. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you need glasses if you're gonna drive in this state, bitch." I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "Yeah, you need glasses." Like, I've never worn glasses ever. I walk around daily. I live in this world.
You were living in a fantasy world.
Yeah, I was like,
Is what it
I was
is.
like, "Pardon me, I exist in this reality." They're like, not to us, you don't.
Not now.
Not to the state of Texas Department of Motor Vehicles, you don't.
Actually, the Department of Public Safety, that's something I've had to relearn
that's
up
the
here.
yeah,
it
it
is
the
the DMV
DPS.
up here, and it's the DPS in Texas.
That's so fucking stupid. Yeah, and it's the Railroad Commission that controls all the gas, all the oil.
Yep. It's cool. It's a good system.
Fucking, they should have all been at the Alamo.
And it goes exactly the same.
And it goes,
but
yeah,
it's all
they're
the
all
Railroad
just
Commission.
as useless. They're all just as cowards as Davy Crockett.
Wow. I think Billy Bob Thornton would have something to say about that.
Yeah, you
Wait,
know
he
what?
was a coward in that movie.
Yeah, he was. Well, what about it?
No, he was pretty brave. He was scared, but he was brave.
Well, I mean, isn't that the myth though? Like the myth was that he was like he like surrendered.
Oh, I don't.
Or I think the
know,
reality is
actually.
that he surrendered. I'm pretty
myth
sure the
is, like-
reality is that he surrendered. The myth is that he like went down in a blaze of glory.
You know, I like how the movie does it because they do it like in a half and half kind of way.
It's a half,
where
yeah, definitely very much.
He's like on his knees in front of the officers
Santa Ana.
of the Mexican army.
they call,
and
they
he's
call him
like-
Santa Ana.
I just wasn't sure if it was
I actually don't. I
Santa
don't.
Ana
I
or if it
assume
was
in
just
the movie, I'm
some-
assuming he was there. In reality,
It probably was Santa Ana because
the-
he was like a prize. Davy Crockett was
oh
a prize.
yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
but again, also movie world.
Yeah.
he was a prize.
But he's like kneeling before him, and Santa Ana is like demanding he surrender. And he's
Yeah.
just like, I'll never fucking
I think
surrender
that
to
is-
you. And then gets a bullet in the brain.
I think that is. I'm like, obviously, I'm building off of what I was taught and what your husband has corrected me on.
Oh, yes. He knows.
But I think according to some accounts, that is what happened. Like the way that horrible Alamo movie, which could have been good. I don't want to be too
think
hard.
it
I don't
was
want to be too hard on the movie. It's a very
pretty good.
It's a very bad movie, but it's like not unwatchable.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I mean.
It's a
like,
fine movie, but it is very bad. But it's also good. if that makes sense.
It's really long, I feel like. And the guy they cast as Stephen F. Austin, what a dandy.
Dennis Quaid? Oh, no, Stephen F. Austin. So he was Sam Houston.
Yeah. He's that guy. I
that?
actually know him from Phantom of the Opera, the movie Phantom of the Opera.
I haven't seen that.
I don't know.
Who was that? Because we all watched Alamo together, and I feel like Brad told us, he was like, according to some accounts, this is what happened. So it is based on it is based on a historical perspective. Whether or not that historical perspective is true, we don't know. Like it's like debatable.
Exactly. Like, because who could know that? So it's Patrick Wilson. Oh no, he's Travis.
He's Travis. He's Travis. Yeah, Patrick Wilson. It's funny. He's not normally he's not like a dandy guy, but he was very much.
He's a dandy in Phantom of the Opera for sure.
But Travis was.
It's also Phantom of the
Travis
Opera.
was very much that.
I know. That's the thing. I was like, I don't like that he's such a dandy. And Brad also corrected me and was like, well, Travis was a dandy. And I was like, well, then they got it.
Well, then they nailed
they nailed it.
It was Bowie who was like the cool guy. Who the knife, I don't think the knife is actually named after. Or maybe it is, but he didn't use it. There's also some there's historical discrepancy there too.
Yeah.
That, is it?
He's not even barely in the movie because I don't remember this guy.
No, because he gets.
That played Bowie.
He's like an alcoholic or he gets sick or something.
Yeah.
And it's like he was like.
Oh, yeah. He's just dying in the bed the whole time,
yeah,
right?
Or maybe he has TB.
Yeah.
He might have tuberculosis.
I think it might be TB.
Or consumption. I don't remember. Which is the same at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes, consumption is TB.
What, do you have the good doctor here to
cry and scream?
To cry and scream and tell us which one it actually is? Okay, great.
Sorry. So you were at the DPS because we went Railroad Commission,
and they
Alamo.
said you have to get glasses.
Yes.
And I was so mad because
should,
that means
honestly.
I didn't get my learner's permit for the amount of time that it takes to get glasses.
So at that time, dude, it feels like it took for fucking ever to get glasses.
I had to go to an optometrist.
Now it takes less than a week.
Nowadays, yeah, it'd be done. I just walk in somewhere.
Back then, I feel like you have to go to the optometrist. You have to make the fucking.
Nowadays, I just walk into Tesla HQ and say, "Jack me up, Elon boy. Give me the robot eyes." And he'd say, "Oh, actually, they're not technically robots because they're artificial." I'm like, "Great, whatever. Spare me."
No, it just makes you listen to an hour of Joe Rogan and pontificate on it with him before he allows you to.
hey, Bucko, spare me the tech jargon and launch some cubes.
Shut up, nerd.
Launch some cubes into these domes. Let's go. I don't know, cubes like circuit boards into these cool domes, eyes. I don't know. That makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Elon would get it.
I agree.
He'd make it happen. He'd ask me how many.
So you had to wait a month probably to get your license.
Yeah, it took a while. Yeah.
Or your learner's permit. And you're already behind your peers.
I'm already behind my peers. Because I opted for driver's ed at home, which is the parental, your parents teach you.
Yeah.
But
I actually liked taking driver's ed.
So we'll see, I should have.
Yeah.
Because
why is that?
I don't know. It wouldn't have anything to do with my mom being very by the book, who made me do all the lessons.
Oh no!
So it took
you thought
me.
You were gonna get to.
Oh, I thought it's
kind of fudge it.
I thought I'd just skate by on high. I thought I'd get behind the wheel once and be like, "Oh, this is fucking easy as shit." No. Instead, my mom was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to log these hours with me in the car." I was like, "Okay, cool."
And I will be timing it.
Okay, single mom who works a 9 to 5. Well, shit. So yeah, it took me a solid 12 months to do.
Oh jeez.
It was it wasn't quite. Maybe it was 8 or 9 months, but it was a while.
Yeah.
So I had to wait to get the learner's permit. So I had done most of it. Then I got the learner's permit, but then you still had to wait 6 months after getting the learner's permit. So it was senior year of high school. I got a car.
Damn. See, I was I was classic where I did driver's ed during the summer
of like
of my
sophomore year.
15th.
Yeah,
of
sophomore
my
year
15th
summer.
birthday.
Sophomore summer.
And then had my learner's permit for a year because my birthday is in the summer. So I was classic. Like, I got a car like before I even got my license, and on my 16th birthday, we like went to the DPS like first thing in the morning, got my license all done and figured out, and I like got home and just immediately got in my own car and drove away.
That's insane.
At like 8:30 in the morning.
I feel like
in
that's
the middle
like,
of summer.
that's like 9 out of 10 Texas high school
yeah.
students are doing that. But then also
Yeah.
8 out of 10 of those are in a fatal accident within a year.
Jesus. Actually, my first accident,
Okay, let's do it.
I
Yeah.
was
First of.
first of 3.
Okay.
3, 2.
3 sounds right, but they're all like catastrophic.
They all totaled my car.
They're all completely due to negligence.
So first car, everyone forgot to tell me that oil changes were not optional. So I killed the engine.
I always fucking forget about that one. That's so funny. That you literally see your engine
think it's
seized.
super funny.
Your engine
but-
seized on you, which is
Yes,
it's like unheard
cracked
of.
in
It's like an
half.
unheard of problem now.
Literally cracked in half.
While you were driving at what, 45? How fast were you going?
No, I was actually in the Taco Bell drive-thru on Blade.
Okay. Well, this is even more fitting.
And it started making the most horrendous
They're handing
sound.
you as you're being handed 3 chicken Baja chalupas
Hell yeah, I was.
and 3 chicken Baja blasts.
And the fucking biggest Dr. Pepper you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, to go with the blasts.
So the car after that, nothing happened to it. My mom was like, I could pay the same amount
Oh,
of money
yeah.
and get you into a newer car, and I hated that.
We were all like, "Oh, you're so privileged. You got this sick ass. You show up with a brand new car." And we're like, "What happened to your old car?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, my mom like traded it in and got me this cool car."
I didn't want it.
Yeah, and you
It wasn't cool. It was a Toyota Corolla.
yeah, okay, yeah. A bunch of broke 19-year-olds didn't think that was cool.
Yeah. But the reason she did it, she was like, I could pay the same car payment, but have you in like
See, I didn't roast you because I was like, that makes good
A
fiscal
newer car.
sense.
you would.
Yeah.
You're like, man, Alexa's mom is smart.
Yeah, Alexa's mom. Also, I also kept those opinions to myself.
Right, because you wanted to look cool.
Yeah, I want to
and
look cool.
roast me.
I'll let everyone else roast you, and I just won't say anything at all.
Right.
I'll be neither ally
that
nor
one-
enemy.
That one, I got into kind of a bad fender bender, and it didn't total it, but the place that the insurance company sent me to only did body work, but nobody mentioned it. So I
Okay,
kept
yeah.
driving it around while it was like leaking like some important fluid, and it just eventually
Was destroyed.
like got destroyed. Yeah. So because I
That's
like
wild.
kept picking it up, and I would like drive it away, and it would stop working like a mile down the road, and I'd have to get them to come get me and take it back and fix it again. But they like, because they were mostly a body shop, they like didn't know what the fuck
That-
was wrong, so they kept not fixing it.
Yeah, I do remember like
It was like a radiator problem or something.
it honestly probably wasn't until I was like 21 or 22 that I concretely realized that there are differences between body shops
Yes.
and auto garages.
This is what taught me that.
Yeah, I had like mine. It was just a cosmetic thing. Which I'll
See,
get
and I'll
to
tell
in a
you
minute,
what, it's very confusing when they call themselves a collision center.
but- Yes, and it's like
Because that makes you think, oh, I got into a collision, I can take my car there.
yeah, no. Only if it's
No.
cosmetic,
Yeah.
which is stupid. Like
so
it's dumb that these two things
Yeah.
exist. They should all be that. They should all be both,
so that was my
in my opinion. if
first
you ask me.
accident, which was when I was like 22 or 3.
Are we up to 2?
Probably 23.
Are we not up to 2 accidents already?
No. My first 2 cars I did not get in accidents in.
Oh, so you've totaled like 5 cars. Just only
I've-
3 of them were accidents.
So yeah, the first one was totaled, but it was an accident, but it was
Whoopsie.
not a car accident.
Okay.
Um,
The
yeah, and then
accident was
second
letting
one
you
was
behind
just
the wheel.
ripped away from me. What?
I said the accident was letting you behind the wheel.
Yep, pretty much.
Was a lady gonna drive this car?
And third one, I would argue, I did not total the car. The car became totaled as a result of the body shop not appropriately fixing the
Yeah, that's
car.
fair. That's fair. That's like clerical error.
Yeah.
Someone didn't cross
Fourth
their
car-
T's.
Yeah. Fourth car, that was the one where I fell asleep at the wheel on 35 in Austin and crashed into the concrete median.
Okay, not the one.
Um,
Okay, we're not quite to the one that may or may not be a crime.
I don't know what you're talking about. Because the next one, the car after that, I was driving in rain and fog. It was in the middle of the day.
Oh, okay, we're calling it rain and fog. I thought you were.
What are you talking about?
I thought you were like drunk driving once.
No, I've never gotten in an accident when I was drunk driving. People like to spread the rumor that the one where I fell asleep at the wheel was drunk driving.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But that night, I had like 2 beers over the course of a couple hours.
I also like the sentence, I've never gotten in an accident while I was drunk driving.
Let's all be realistic about the life of millennials, especially millennials living in Austin.
Yeah, everyone did.
I'm not going to pretend I'm some saint that didn't drunk
Yeah.
drive while I was in Austin.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, I did. I do not do it anymore.
You don't condone it.
No, I don't at all. I think it's very stupid.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
It's a very bad idea.
But
no,
yeah,
that one-
everyone did it. I didn't do it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't. I was about to call you, but truly, I don't believe
I
you.
think I skated the line
Oh yeah.
in like I wanted to leave. I would be in locations where I had been drinking. I would want to leave, and then I would wait like 2 or 3 hours and then leave. And I think like
no, that's pretty responsible.
it is, but I bet like technically I probably would have still like been over the
Right.
limit.
If you had like had to blow,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I would try to like. I never recklessly did it. It was always like
Right. Never like actively chose
yeah.
to.
And I'm sure there's days where I woke up the next morning somewhere I didn't want to be anymore and drove home in the morning, and probably
Yeah.
would have still been like latently drunk.
Right. Yeah.
Because that never really got talked about with us, with our like generation. I feel like that's an old school, like back in the day they used to tell people, like back in like the 70s they would tell people like if you go out and you wake up like you're still drunk.
See, all I remember being told was like, if you get drunk and you can't drive home, you cannot sleep in your car comfortably because you can still get in trouble for having the keys in the ignition or even being in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
So what that said to me was, why don't I just take the 10 minutes?
It was a very bad message to tell people that, yeah, it's like if they catch you in the driver's seat, they'll just
like
like
sleeping.
Yeah, just sleeping.
They can still arrest you
They'll
for
still-
like intention to drunk drive or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's like you had to like put the keys in the trunk or some bullshit.
right, and like sleep in the back seat. But then it was like, it's fucking Texas summer. I'm not fucking doing that.
Yeah, it's like also you forgot the first part. I'm drunk.
Right. I'm an idiot. I'm already an idiot, and then I got drunk.
I'm going to lose my keys if I put them somewhere weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up drunk in my car and be like, "Where the fuck are my keys?"
Oh, good. I complied to the letter of the law, and I lost my keys. Like
Yeah.
when
What
you
the
already
fuck?
like you had the good intention. Like, that was the wildest thing about like clarifying that thing. It's like, oh no, actually, if you ever thought you could just get in your car and sleep, turns out
No.
illegal. Manslaughter.
Super manslaughter.
Like a double homicide if you do that. Lock them up.
Yeah, I always say because you can get a public intox walking home too,
Yeah.
which is fucking fucked up.
It's like it's
It's
also
like, what am I supposed to do?
it's also dumb.
You know what it is? It's punishing poor people.
Well, of
is what it
course,
is.
of course.
It's
Like all
classism.
things. It's also dumb that they just like made it such a. They lean so heavily on those lessons, where it's like, yeah, if you're walking home, you could get a PI, but you'd have to be like, in reality, you'd have to be like an asshole.
Right.
Like, they don't tell
But
you
the
that.
thing is,
They
is
just say, like, oh, if you're drunk and outside, they'll get you.
See, I've seen it reinforced though. Like I've had
Oh, I mean, it does
friends that
happen.
were like stumbly
Well,
and
yeah,
would get
well,
stopped by the cops and get a ticket.
Unfortunately, yeah, we live in a police state, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
like
true.
you get like the luck of the draw, right? Like you just, dude, I fucking saw a dude getting a fucking parking ticket today, and he was like, he
Man.
was parked with his hazards on, and he was like, hey man,
That
I'm like, I have a delivery to
sucks.
make, and I just can't find the place, and the guy was like, you're in a fucking intersection.
Lifts up his windshield
Yeah, oh, no, he
wiper
gave
and
no
fucking
shits.
puts it under there
Didn't
while
give
he's
it-
staring the guy in the face.
Didn't no, he truly did. You just described it. Like,
Did it really?
That's exactly what happened.
What a fucking dick.
He said, you're in the intersection. And he wasn't. He was like half in the crosswalk past the intersection. Like,
You know, I've gotten tickets for being too close to a crosswalk.
yeah, that's a big Texas thing for
Which-
sure.
I actually got one in New Orleans,
Oh, whoa.
which I was about to be like, there's not a fucking sign. Turns out there was a sign and I was past it.
Oh, nice.
But I got a ticket out front of my house
So neither of these were in
for being
Texas?
too close. No.
Wild.
Here in fucking Buffalo, New York, I got a ticket outside of my house for being too close to a crosswalk that does not
There
exist.
is no crosswalk
It's
across.
just two corners.
You don't have a crosswalk. You barely even have.
I know.
There's like barely even
I
paint.
got two tickets within like 30 minutes of each other on the little ticket timestamps.
Did you fight
Isn't that
these?
shitty?
Did you fight these?
No, they were like $30. I was like, I don't want to fucking fuck around with this shit. And it was like within the first month I moved here, I was like, I don't even have a fucking New York license. Like, blah.
You still don't
Just
have a New York
sounds-
license.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Good.
And it's really cool. It has a lot of holograms on
Yeah,
it.
thank you for proving me wrong. I'm happy to be wrong about this.
That's how Brad got to Canada.
Not
'Cause
with
he got the
not with
enhanced New
your
York
license.
No, but we went and got our licenses together.
Yeah, but I don't know that. I don't believe you. I don't.
What the fuck?
He
I'm
ended
not
up-
that
He
irresponsible.
ended up at a Duff's.
I'm
he ended up
32.
at a Duff's
I'm almost 33.
Wings for 3 hours because you fucked up.
Dude, that was
Your husband was eating
that was-
Duff wings, which rule, in a mall.
Yeah, they
in
are
a
really
dead mall for 3 hours because you drove to the DMV without your license.
Yep.
Do I have it right? Do I have that right?
You do have it right. That was my ADHD. The listener, the listener with ADHD will know this was a case of ADHD holding me hostage and laughing in my face the entire day. I was so worried about having all the correct documents. I needed a fucking credit card statement with my address on it. And I needed my birth certificate and my social and fucking all this shit. And I had like a folder
Wild
filled
that
with
you
all
need.
this
It's
shit.
wild that
I
you
had my
needed all that. I
passport.
don't think you did.
Well, we didn't know which ones we needed because the website sucks. So we just brought like everything they named and was like, you pick to the like clerk.
Yeah.
And I was so worried about that. And we like, you know, I'm watching the clock, making sure like, okay, we have an appointment. Let's get there at like, we need to leave at this time. We'll like leave a 5-minute buffer just in case we like miss the turn, blah, blah, blah. Get there perfectly on time. I don't have my license. Have to go all the way 25 minutes back home while Brad is having the greatest time of his life eating fucking shoestring french fries and the delicious wings and drinking a pint of
He was
Labatt.
just eating buffalo mediums because he was too scared to get
Dude.
hot.
Well, they are really like
They really lay it on
weird
thick.
about their flavors.
If anyone, if
and
any
medium's
list-
just medium.
oh, there's no difference. Their
But they're like-
spices are the same.
Medium, very hot. Hot, super fucking hot. And it's like,
Yeah.
nah, if you've had it, it's just medium and hot.
It's just the same.
Like,
Yeah.
but I was like, let's just get. Well, we like to do medium anyway, just to get the flavor and like see what's up.
No, I
with
go
the
hot. I go
wings.
hot.
See, I don't want to do hot just in case it is actually hot, and then I feel like I'm not really tasting
See, my
it.
my
I wanna
experience, it
taste the
never
flavor.
is. Hot is what I expect out of a medium.
Yeah,
And
fair.
medium, they're all like off. They're off by one. You know, like If I get
Yeah.
medium, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm like, this is fucking mild. This is
Yeah.
mid. These wings are mid. Sorry.
But yeah, so I fucking drive all the way back home in the rain, which was fun. It was like a rainstorm. Get back to the mall.
Rainstorm.
It was just a classic rainstorm. It was nice.
What was this? What do you call this? We call it
Get
a
all
rainstorm.
the way back to the mall. It's a different person there because I was like, I had an appointment at this time to the girl that was there before. I was like, but I left my license. Can I run back home? Will you remember me? And I can just like kind of get slipped in. And she was like, yeah, for sure. Different guys there. Great. I'm like, hey.
Oh, they were
I
on
explained
break.
whole
Well, the
thing.
other person was on break for an hour.
Probably. She was at Duff's next to Brad.
Yeah, I would be.
Laughing about me.
Dude, honestly, every single time I've ever been to a DMV-esque place, seeing the rate at which they go on break,
Oh, yeah.
it's
They're
like
cycling through the
it's like
turnovers.
there
crazy.
are 50 people in line,
And they just take their time and fuck
they are
off.
just going on break constantly. It's like
Yep.
hey, I don't want to like be mad at the workers because I know they're not getting paid enough and they're going through it and they're having to deal with people at the DMV, which fucking
I'll
sucks.
tell you what, they're probably mandated breaks too. Like they can't say, "Oh, let me just finish up this line and then I'll go on break." You know, the whoever runs the place is like, "No, you have to go on break right now." You know,
I don't know. I don't give them that much credit. The people running the
I
show.
don't know.
I don't give them that much.
Bureaucracy. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like
Maybe.
if we don't do this, the government's gonna fucking slap us with some kind of weird fine. Or
I think
some
it's like
shit,
you learn.
know?
I think it's like you learn to take your time, because you know that the line technically is infinite. Mm-hmm. I think it's
Yeah.
cool that you guys you guys had scheduled appointments, which is rad. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, a lot
here
of-
you can't do that. You just have to get in
A
line.
lot of states do that.
oh, that's
which is
cool.
nice.
That's nice. That's sick. Here you can't. Here you just
but
have
yeah.
to show up at 8 a.m.
Speaking of scheduling my appointment, I get there, different guy. I explain the whole thing. And he's like, "Great, when was your appointment?" And they have, like a list of the names of people and their appointment times. And I was like, "It was at 12:15 and my name's Alexa." And he's looking through and he's like, "I'm not seeing you." And I'm like, "Well, hang on. I have the confirmation email right here." And I pull it up and I show it to him and he says, "This is for tomorrow." And I was just like, I'm going to shoot myself in the fucking head. So I'm like, "Well, can you just put me in the like regular line?" And he was like, "Yeah, the wait's like an hour and a half-ish."
Oh
And I was
my
like,
God.
"Sure, I'm already here. I've already driven back home. I'm not going back fucking home without my fucking
You've already driven there and
license,
back
damn it."
twice,
Yes.
basically.
Yes. Check
Your
this out.
fucking appointment was for the wrong day.
Yeah. Every
I knew I had this right. I knew I had this.
15, 20 minutes, I'm going back around the corner to the DPS from Duff's to check like who's on the
Yeah, of course
screen.
you weren't gonna wait there. You went to Duff's and had a beer.
Guess what? I missed when they called my number, so I have to go back up to the poor
Fucking
guy.
Of course you did.
I have to go back, and he's like, "This was called like 20 minutes ago," and I'm like, "What? I've been checking seriously so often. Like,
You
what
left
the fuck?
the place. You can't. You're not allowed to
They
get
shouldn't
mad.
put Duff's right next door."
Yeah, the speakers should be in Duff's. They should partner up. But again, bureaucracy.
should.
They're not allowed to do that. That's a mixture of public and private.
So anyway, I finally did it. We got there at like noon, and at 4:23 p.m., I'm walking out of the DMV for the last time.
So moral
fuck.
moral of the story.
Moral of the story: don't have
No.
ADHD.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the moral of the story. This is my moral of the story. Moral of the story is when Will doesn't believe that Alexa has a New York license.
There were a lot
It's
of barriers.
because I knew this is how it would go, and I would know
well-
how many barriers does Alexa usually get through. None. So getting
It's
a New
true.
York
If I
license is going to be like
encounter a barrier,
5
I
barriers.
crumple.
5 hours worth of barriers and maybe a couple days.
Yep.
So yeah, I
Dude.
don't have the highest
That
hopes.
Sucked.
You almost
that
didn't
sucks
even
so-
make it to the fucking movie shoot, the film shoot, because of
Yeah,
fucking.
because I
dragging
wait
your
to get my
feet to get a
passport
passport
until 2 weeks before.
I'm so glad you did not tell me that. I would have lost my mind. Hey, let me.
Hey, it worked out.
Hey, Alexa, let me give you 6 months' notice. You need to get a passport. You got the part. I just give you 6 months, nice 6 months notice. So you think you can get a passport in 6 months? Yeah, no problem, Will. Yeah, it's fine.
We're flying out,
Fucking-
April 23rd, and I'm in the fucking City Hall in Dallas on, like, April 17th. Just like, hey, I need a passport by this time.
And then
Is
you
that
fucking
possible?
commit felonies on the flight in
Oh, yeah, I did.
by opening up duty-free liquor and, like, getting tanked on the plane.
Again, like the
I'll just
oil
admit that. I'll just
change,
admit that
no
on the air.
one told.
We're just
No
gonna-
one told us. And no one said anything.
It is wild that y'all didn't know, you and your accomplice, your
I did have an accomplice. And us getting off the plane, we're just like, woo!
I mean, you showed up
We drank like a quarter of a Tito's bottle
on a plane, so like it
on
was
an
hitting,
international flight.
and it was hitting different because you're like super high altitude.
Hell
That
yeah.
is true.
I know.
That is true, listener.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense because we were pretty fucking loopy when we landed in Toronto.
Yeah, like it won't hit you much different, but it will hit you different.
It did hit different. And then we skirted customs.
That's insane. Jesus, I forgot about that story. Where you snuck
Yeah.
into Canada.
We did not sneak in. So
You snuck
story
in.
for
You
the
did.
listener.
You snuck in.
We did
You-
not mean to.
you
This
did- no,
is
I'm not saying
this
you
whole
meant to.
Canadian trip
Okay,
is a
hold on.
case of people not telling us that what we're doing is wrong.
I'm not
and
saying
we don't know.
you intended to, but you
we
did,
did.
skip immigration. You did.
We did, yeah.
Skip customs. Unfortunately, or fortunately for you.
I mean, we were checked by customs agents. It was just that we went through the line that was supposed to be for Canadians, where they're just like, "What's going on? What are you here for?
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
great.
yeah.
Have a good time."
because you went to the bathroom.
Yeah, and it was down the escalators, and then
pee-pee.
there were doors right there, and we were like,
You're
"Can
like,
we just go
"I
through
have to
these?"
pee-pee.
And there were customs. Well, because we were drinking on a 3-hour.
Yeah, because you
flight.
drank a
We
quarter of
needed to
Tito's
pee
each.
so bad.
probably. It was more like a quarter of Tito's each. Let's be
No,
honest.
it wasn't.
Let's be
No,
honest.
we would have been fucking lit.
Here's the question:
but yeah,
how many
the-
days did that Tito's bottle last after the fact?
Like a day.
So that's what I
I'm pretty
mean.
sure we drank it with you that night.
No,
Then we drank it with you the next night at the cabin.
that day. Did you spend
Because
it?
we had the production meeting.
Was there?
right
Oh,
when we
there
got
was
to
a
your
night. There
apartment.
was a night in Toronto,
And then the next morning we went to the murder cabin.
and you forgot to take the keys to the cabin.
No, your brother forgot to
I
take
was
the
being
keys to
I
the
was
cabin.
being generous when I said you. I didn't name any names. You named the name
I didn't either.
of the individual who
I
would
said
later
your
tell me it
brother.
was my fault that they didn't take the keys.
You know what? I'm on his side.
Yeah, he's never been there before, only as much as I have, his whole life. He didn't know he needed keys. He only knew he needed like 8 keys to 8
It's true.
different
There's
locks.
like padlocks and fucking
Oh, you gotta lock it up.
some kind of wild, like ancient, like medieval fun puzzle lock that looks really cool from the inside when it unlocks. And there's like a
Oh, the
Swiss clockwork
this
situation.
one,
Yeah.
yeah, that one's cool.
And it's like,
Yes, yeah, that is a cool lock. Why didn't I
But,
write that in the script?
yeah. Yeah, so that's me and my DMV story.
Good
Just,
shit.
if anyone needs to know who I am, I missed my appointment 6,000 times because I was too busy eating wings and drinking blue light and leaving stuff all across the state of New York.
After you lived there for like 8 months,
Yeah. Yep.
maybe 9.
It's really hard to move across the country.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, you also like I'm still mad that y'all had a PS4 that you could have brought with you. And there
Oh, gave it away.
and there was room in the pod.
Oh, yeah.
There was so much room. And you tried to tell me that you were like, when I called you out on it the first time, you were like, "Oh, there wasn't any room in the pod." But then I looked at the picture of the pod that you sent me.
It wasn't full.
There was like a third of room. There was
Yep.
so much space. It would have been so easy.
The truth is, we
I mean,
kind of went insane with the thing where you're like moving and you're like, we gotta purge, but we started purging like the wildest shit.
You guys leaned way.
We
I don't even
lost
know
our
what
minds.
direction you leaned, but it was a direction I would not have even guessed that you would have led. Like, you just went psycho. You were truly psycho.
We did go psycho. Worked out just fine.
Yeah, minus
now
a
I can
PS4.
get a PS5.
Minus a PS4. You have a PS5 now?
Yeah, but I'm gonna get a PS. No, I'm going to get one.
Okay, well, let's save the bragging till you actually have the PS5 in hand. Okay.
I'm not bragging. I'm just saying.
Hey, let's leave this humble brag till when
And
you actually.
now, I don't have. Like, once I get a PS5, I won't have a PS4 and a PS5. I'll just have a PS5.
Well, yeah, because you would
That
have
would be
given.
nice.
You could have given me the PS4.
No, I actually gave it to a little boy whose grandma really, really wanted to get him the PS4 that he wanted.
Yeah, I get what you did was nice. I'm saying you could have given it to me. But you know what? A different friend did give me one.
Nice.
And now everyone's happy and you have egg on your face.
I am eating crow.
Yeah, look
Big
at you.
old pie full of crow.
Yeah. Hey, what kind of pie is that? Looks like a bird pie.
Yeah, it's crow.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that
It's
was
not good. Bitter.
You know, by this point I thought you would have grown to the taste.
Ah, damn. That was pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's a good burn.
Well, once you pair the crow pie with egg,
Okay.
this egg that's on my face, gets pretty good.
Yeah, it's a breakfast pie.
Yeah.
At your rate, you're waking up, you already have to eat some.
I'm just eating
Yeah,
it
no,
constantly,
a friend
just
who
slipping it in my mouth.
I won't name the friend because,
Good.
but they just fucking gave me a PS4, shipped it up here.
Wow, they shipped it to you?
I mean, I paid for the shipping, but
Oh, well, that makes
they
sense.
took the time out of their day to put it in a box and like pad
and
it.
drive it to wherever
Drove to a FedEx location.
Mm-hmm.
Shipped it to me. Got here. That was an ordeal. It was an ordeal to find it because they shipped it. I have a PO box at the local post. It's not technically a PO box because it just goes to the post office and then they just hold on to it. Like
Right, you have the thing where, like, yeah, they just hold the mail.
they just hold
right.
the mail because you can't
They
like
just hold
you know,
it. There's a guy standing there holding it, waiting for
day
you.
in day night. Like
He also has a
Oh,
big
I-
sign that says "Will."
it's like he's like at the
And he's
airport.
holding all this mail because you haven't been there in weeks.
It's a guy. It's a guy in a taxi cab with my last name, just
Yeah,
waiting.
and he
to,
opens the door and it's just piles of coupon books.
I get
and-
mad at him. I scold him. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to get in your car? It's full of mail, asshole.
Well, sir, this is your mail.
Fuck you. Just,
Push him down.
yeah, shove him to the ground. Throw some money on the ground for him to pick up and beg for.
Oh my god, that's so messed up.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought, bitch. Next time you want to bring my mail, you bring it to me. You don't pick me up.
Sickening. You're a disgusting human.
So they hold my mail at the post office. This is a free service here in Canada because downtown Toronto, which is not where I live. Definitely don't live downtown. You just can't have
Nope,
mail. You can't
you
have
don't.
packages show up on your doorstep because they'll get fucking stolen. Like
Right, yeah.
immediately.
Our packages get stolen and we don't.
Yeah,
We
you
live
live
in a
you live in
neighborhood.
a nowhere. You live in a nowhere.
That's not true. I could walk down.
I live here in the civilized world, and packages still get stolen. So anyway, the problem was
Live on a
FedEx.
farm.
Yeah, you live in a farm. You live in a fucking farm. FedEx states they will deliver to a PO box address. It crosses into Canada. Now it's FedEx Ground Canada. They don't deliver to PO boxes. I'm on the phone with like 3 different FedEx employees trying to explain to them, all the while saying, surely I am not the first person to have this issue, because how could that possibly be? Where,
Right.
yeah, you don't deliver to PO boxes. It's not a PO box. It's just a post office. They're like, yeah, we need a physical address. Like, well, it's not a fucking metaphysical post office.
Right.
Like, I didn't imagine, this isn't a dreamscape that you're delivering this mail to. I was losing my
It's
mind
just you with like
when they kept saying,
Lucy from Peanuts, like a big cardboard.
yeah,
And it says post office.
post office lemonade stand. I was losing my mind when they were like, yeah, we need actually a physical address. It's like, what the fuck? where do you think this address is? You don't
It's
you don't open a cupboard
dream
and get
address.
into this. You don't have to like travel
Fictional.
through some dimension to like get to this fucking post office. It's physical. Yeah, well, we need someone to hand off the package to. Like, well, yeah.
What about the
It
mailman?
was like, yeah, what about the person who works at the post office? I'm like, you're FedEx Canada, so surely you must be aware of the fact that Canada Post, the national mail service of the country that you work in, has a system where people get mail delivered to their post office
Right.
because it gets stolen off. I'm like having to teach people that mail gets stolen.
Well, were you talking to someone from
No, these
FedEx
are
America?
No, these were Canadians. These were fucking Canadians. Because they were
That's
they were
wild.
representing they were like, we are FedEx Ground Canada. We are not FedEx
Mm-hmm.
the US. I'm like, and I kept saying like, I'm sorry if I'm like teaching you things about the mail service, but surely I'm not the first one to have to do this. Like, it would be absurd if I was the first person in the world that had these issues. Turns out,
Maybe the first person in Canada.
well, it gets worse.
Oh no.
So, at this point, this is what's wild. At this point, my package, the PS4 that a friend has sent me out of the kindness of their heart, this PS4 in a box, which up here is worth like $300 because apparently, I don't know, Canada is short in supply of PS4s. It has been in Canada longer than it took to get here from Texas.
Damn.
And it's just been in the city, being passed around. Getting on a
Oh,
truck,
no.
getting on a truck, can't be delivered. Getting on a truck, can't be delivered. Getting on a truck, can't be delivered. I get them on the phone, and they're like, we can send it to a FedEx pickup location. I'm like, well, fucking great. Let's do that. So they tell me two options. One of them's like more convenient for me, so I'm like, yeah, let's do that. It's a Staples downtown. I'm like, okay, so it's gonna go to this
Staples.
fucking. I was like, I didn't even know there were fucking Staples in Toronto, but okay, great, we'll do that.
Well, not only in Toronto, but downtown Toronto.
Yeah, downtown Toronto, there's a Staples.
Next
what
to
the
the
hell?
what, the Neiman Marcus and the fucking like
Yeah,
Palace
fucking
Theater.
next to the Pier 1. Like, what are we doing here? Why is there... I mean, I guess there's business. People are doing business. So, they give me the exact address. Like, 300-something University Ave, Staples, downtown. So I'm thinking, okay, I've got the exact address. There's not a chance I can get this wrong. I get the delivery. I get the email saying it's there. We dropped it off. I'm like, okay, cool. It says like Momo signed for it. So I'm already like, what the fuck?
You go up to the front desk. I'm looking for a Momo.
It was like Momo or Mom Mom. It was a weird name
Mom Mom.
that like
Meemaw.
immediately gave me
Meemaw
pause.
picked it up.
Yeah, I was like, I think this has been stolen. Again, we're talking about stolen so many stolen packages I'm dealing with. I see who signed for it. I'm like, oh, this someone stole this. Like, my immediate reaction is like, this is lost. This is gone. So I walk downtown, and I ask someone there, like, hey, where's like package pickup? And they're like, oh, it's over there. So this first person I've asked, I say, I'm here to pick up a package. They direct me to a counter. Right? So you're with me,
Yep.
they're with me. They understood what package.
I'm here. I'm in the Staples. I can smell it.
This
I'm
person
being
who directed me.
assaulted by the fluorescent lights.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
I'm here.
But more importantly, this first person I asked was with me. They knew where to direct me for a package pickup.
Yes.
And I go to that counter. I talk to the person at the counter. Oh, we don't hold packages for people.
Huh.
And now I'm mad.
You're being gaslit.
Now I'm immediately mad because I'm like, well, not only does FedEx think you do, that employee thinks you do.
They need more training.
Yeah, either they're wrong or you're wrong, or FedEx is wrong. And I'm not going to bet on FedEx being wrong. Or am I?
Well.
I mean, at this point, it's anyone's game. Any of these people could be wrong. So they asked me who
It's
shipped
anyone's
it. I'm like,
game.
FedEx.
Who's
Like,
the
we have-
wrongest?
They're like, we don't hold packages for FedEx. We only accept packages from, like, we expect they would take packages from you to ship somewhere else with FedEx.
Right.
But FedEx doesn't deliver to them. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, pal.
Okay.
I'm on the phone with them. I asked them, like, is this address? They're like, yeah, that's us. Like, yeah, that's where they told me to be. And like 3 other people get involved.
Well, this is a fun mystery now.
And finally,
You just made their days.
finally this young kid, this young buck, he like looks over at this box behind him. It's like directly there. And he's like, wait, what's your name again? I give him my name. He's like, here it is. It's right here.
Huh.
This is it. And he was like,
Huh.
he's like, I don't even know the procedure if I'm supposed to like, I don't even know how to validate that this is you. I'm like, well, I can show you my license. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, that has my name and my picture, and you can hold it up and go, okay, name.
He's like, I don't know how to
face.
verify if you are who you say you are. I'm like, well, would this help? Like, I freely, yeah, of course, I freely offer my license. Like, what the fuck do I care? And he looks
Well,
at it,
'cause
he's
it's
like,
you.
and he's like, okay, yeah, I guess I can give this to you. I'm like, all right, great, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm like, is that all? He's like, I guess. I don't know what to do here. Just take it. It's like, all right, cool.
Take it. Have it.
Then I
freak.
walk home through downtown Toronto with a brand new used PS4 that was being moved around Toronto for 7 days.
Damn. That's wild. Did you ever find Mima? Momo? Mama?
Mom, I think it was Mom. MOM. Mom.
You didn't find Mom?
I never found Mom. I don't know who that is. And at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Yeah, so that was the journey. But it works. It got here in one piece. It worked, and now I can play Bloodborne with the boys.
Hell yeah. Honestly, happy ending.
All you need in
know?
life. That's all you need.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
And all thanks to Mom and her grandson.
Mom
The
and
young
Mima
buck.
and Peepaw and
And Junior.
Graham Jr. and Grand Slam, Jim Grand Slam.
Man, that'd be a cool name.
That would be Grand Slam Jim.
Dude, that's a good name. What D&D character can be Grand Slam Jim?
Don't give a shit.
I know you don't.
That's the word. I don't. You can't use it.
Yes, I can, and I will.
You can't use it
And
anymore.
it'll be something dumb like a barbarian.
My mom's calling.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know what to do.
Ignore it. We've got like 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Can you wait 10 minutes?
Yeah, write this note down. Write a timestamp
That
down
your-
to edit that.
your
I mean,
mom
we can just
called-
keep recording. I don't care. I'm gonna
Yeah.
text her. What I'm saying is I'm going to text her back and say, "Can I call you in half an hour?"
Yeah. Call mom in half an hour. Set reminder.
Still can't
Call
talk.
mommy.
She called me earlier and I couldn't talk either. Still can't talk. Can I call you back?
And then at the end of the text, say, and thank you for teaching me how to drive over the period of a year after I got my glasses.
Yeah.
Did she have a Prius at that time?
She did. She had bought the Prius.
Man.
She bought the first Prius.
I was gonna say Prius people,
Dude, they
Prius
stick.
moms.
They
stick.
They get
to
one.
The Prius.
They get one Prius and they're set for life on Prius.
Yeah, they're
on the
like
Prius brand.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. That's my mom too. My mom got a Prius in
didn't know
like
you-
2006 or so, and she has a Prius now also as well. Different one, but
So okay, I was listening. I heard you.
no, I know.
Yeah, my mom's the same way. She's on her second or third now. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think same with my mom.
Might be third.
My mom.
My mom's
Is a
coming to
leaser,
visit,
though.
which is very nice. She's gonna come and visit me here in
Oh.
Toronto.
Is she still in Detroit?
No, she's back in Texas.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna be back in Detroit in like second week of like June, like I don't know,
Yeah.
13th, 14th. And then she's gonna come here after that, all that shit. She's calling me to ask what time she should book her flight from Toronto back to DFW.
Huh.
And I'm like,
that feels like a personal decision.
yeah, like whatever you like. She's like 1:30 or 5:30. I'm like, well, kind of like up to you.
Why would she be asking you that?
I don't know. I'm like,
oh my God, your mom is so funny.
she is, yeah, she's funny. She's very wild. She was calling me earlier to ask like what the difference of like different train tickets in Canada meant.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, it does say one thing. It does say, like,
Okay.
when you're booking them,
So,
it tells
like,
you,
just
like,
a little reading.
yeah.
Would tell you. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's like, the cheaper you go, the harder it is to rebook. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That's booking travel.
Is it like Amtrak where everyone pretty much gets the same seat, like no matter what?
Oh yeah, like if you're not doing first class, it doesn't matter. Like it's all
Yeah.
the same. And she doesn't care about.
Yeah. So it literally is just like rebooking or like trip insurance type.
Basically, yeah.
Features. Yeah.
Flight at 1:30 or 5:30. I don't know.
Flip a coin. Tell her to flip a coin.
I'll say 1:30.
Oh, maybe she's asking you because she wants to know how late you want her to leave.
I don't care.
Like to get out of your hair.
Well, she's not even staying. She's gonna be in a hotel.
Well, yeah, but she's thinking probably like we could like grab some brunch and then I'll get to my 5:30 flight, or if it's 1:30 I'll just leave. We'll say goodbye the night before. You know how boomer moms are.
Yeah, but then I'm also thinking like Mom, if you fly out at 5:30, you're gonna be getting into Dallas at like 10.
And her driving at night.
I don't think she'll drive. Her car won't.
Oh, okay,
her car
good.
won't be there.
Good.
But
Good for her.
But then how? But then that begs the question: how?
An Uber from DFW Airport to Plano sounds
Well, what time do you
crazy.
Well, what time do you want to be back to land in?
Here. Let me ask you a few questions
Hey.
to kind of gauge.
Here, Mom, riddle me this. Well, what time do you
Oh my
want
God.
to land in DFW?
Fucking moms.
My mom who doesn't like to drive at night. Like,
Yes.
yeah, maybe the 1:30 trip. Well, because she was like, you don't know, because I like to fly out at like, I like to book like 7 a.m. flights. I like to book like the absurd.
Yeah, you're a wild guy. See, I like to do like a kind of early, like
That's fine.
10-ish.
Yeah.
To go to the place, and then I like to do the latest flight to get back
Oh,
to extend
okay.
the amount of time that I'm at, because I'm only ever flying to go on vacation usually.
Yeah, I mean, mostly same.
So I like to make it the longest I possibly can, even if that's the difference of like a few hours,
Yeah.
you know?
I like to fly, if I'm flying to somewhere, yeah, earliest as possible.
Yep. And then return flight. I like to put it at like 4.
Yeah, I like a
Like,
mid-afternoon.
mid-afternoon,
Mid-afternoon
yeah.
flight, yeah. Because then it's like I have no obligations that day.
Yep.
It's like,
And you know what else? Me and Brad, when we go on vacation, we love to have the debrief, which is where,
I don't know what that means.
like, right after we land, we, like, go directly to a bar and have a couple beers and just, like talk about our favorite parts of the trip and, like, kind of have the debrief of the trip.
Gotcha.
And you made a wonderful face that I am so excited to hear what your mother said.
because you've seen me make this face when
Yeah,
getting
and
text
the-
before.
This is big weather level.
This is big rain.
Big rain, big snow.
Big rain, big snow coming.
Ice, big scary.
Yeah, big scary. Find shelter. It's like, Mom, I'm inside.
Mom, I'm not going anywhere. What are you talking about?
When she thought we were flying to New York in the blizzard.
I know. Dude, yeah, that blizzard already started, and she's like, "Be careful, big snow," and we're like we are like
Yeah,
in
it's
a
like,
disaster movie right now. We're not going anywhere.
I'm scared for my life. What are you thinking?
know.
Like,
I fucking watched The Day After Tomorrow. I know how to operate in
yeah,
this
Dennis
scenario.
Quaid isn't here.
He's
I'm
on his way.
scared. So, okay, first of all, the debrief is insane. maybe if I had a partner that I loved, I would want to.
That you like to spend.
That I would.
With.
Yeah, maybe if I had a human in my life that I enjoyed spending
vacations with.
time with, I would like to do that. But I'm more of a guy who's like, when I've just done a
You
trip,
gotta do a wind down.
I need to wind down. I don't like to. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about shit for like 2
Right.
days.
Yeah, you gotta process it.
But then,
because I think you're
But then I'm all about
kind of
talking
an
about it.
introvert,
I'm a mix.
like
I'm a
in the
healthy
sense
mix.
that you have a longer social battery than most introverts, but you do have to like do a pretty good recharge once that social battery is out.
Oh yeah.
Because
that battery
my
can-
recharge is going to the bar and being surrounded by a bunch of people.
So the thing, my battery though, it'll go forever. That's where I get into trouble. Like a week-long trip.
That's what I mean. You've got like a lithium.
Yeah, a week
like-
trip, 2-week trip, 3-week trip, or 1-day trip. It's the same battery.
Yeah.
And once it ends hard, the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't ask me at the airport how I felt about the trip. So,
So, yeah, what'd your mom say?
My reaction that you clocked. So
Just the biggest eyes.
So I asked, well, what time do you want to land in DFW? Response. More like when we need to check out of hotel.
Now, who would know that information?
Not me. I don't know. Let me guess just the average hotel checkout. Oh, it's always 11. Or noon if you push
Yeah,
it.
11 or noon. Yeah.
Like, this is the same at every hotel. And you know what? If it's
Yeah.
not, hardly an inconvenience. If it's 10 or if it's 1. Like, we're not playing with big numbers here.
Well, also, yeah, so you usually, like, let's say it's 11. For most hotels, it's around 11. So the 1:30 flight is probably not a good idea.
But then okay, second question. If 1:30 flight, when do I Uber to airport? Like, I don't think this is a question for May. This trip is, you're talking about, like, in a month from now. I don't think we have to really cross that bridge yet. And guess what? It doesn't matter. Because you could get an Uber at any time. 7 million people live here.
And question, not to, disparage your mother or anything, but she's flown to and from DFW and Toronto before, right?
I don't know. Either way, it will be fine. Don't worry about getting to the airport. I don't know what to say. Like,
I don't know what to say either. Usually I'm really good at these kinds of interactions where I'm like, I'm pretty good at not making the person feel dumb, but also guiding them to the fact that they were being kind of weird about it. But your mom is she's a card.
she's a card. Now,
She's a character.
She says she's good. I don't know how to parse this last message.
All right, hey, listener, take a knee. We're
Listener,
gonna parse
chime
this.
in. Hashtag.
We're gonna parse this message.
Hashtag.
Yeah, leave it down in the comments below what you
Hashtag
would have said to Will's
parse
mom.
from parse to plane. I don't know what that means. I think I'm going to go with the larger plane.
Okay.
Small flight at 1:30 has 70 seats. Later flight at 5:30 has 175 seats.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's remaining seats, because I guarantee you these planes are the same.
Likely, yes.
Like, a 70 seat plane does not fly from DFW to Toronto.
I was gonna say that's like a Spirit Airlines,
Yeah.
like like a little tin can.
But also, I don't know which one I don't know what she's telling me. Does that mean you're going with the later flight? Just say that. Why say?
It sounds like she's saying that.
I think I'll go with the larger plane. Riddle me this. Which one is that, Will, my son?
And now, if I'm going with the larger plane. Tell me which one the larger plane is. If plane A has 70 seats left, but 250 seats aboard, but plane B has 175 seats left and
Yeah, the small flight has 4 apples and is heading to Chicago with a headwind of 145 miles an hour. That's probably way faster. At 300 miles an hour, I don't know how fast planes go.
I don't know. Headwind?
Oh, I guess the headwind might only be 145 miles an hour. It did make sense. Damn it.
Idiot.
But train,
Don't second guess yourself,
but
pal.
train B is leaving Seattle westbound for Chicago.
And they're heading straight towards each other, but one's in the sky and one's on land.
One has 5 apples. The train, though, it's hauling 500 apples. Oh, great.
Which one should you buy a ticket to?
Which one should you buy apples from? Which one should you trust with your apples? Good question. Good questions, GRE. So, all that to say, can't wait. I can't wait for my mom to visit. That'll be nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Love seeing the mom.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
she's going to be, well, no, damn it. I can't say that. We got to edit that out.
What? I won't.
Timestamp
Since you
it.
didn't say anything.
Well, I was going to allude to an event that she's going to be here for, which would dovetail into
Triangulate?
the next story,
oh.
the real
Well.
real story.
Oh.
But I can't
No.
allude to that event.
Okay. But the story that you want to tell happened this past weekend, no?
Yes, but during an event that
How-
I can't allude to
Well, oh.
because
Okay.
it happens on my street.
So you were never really planning on telling this story.
No, I was just going to be very broad.
Vague about it.
Well, I wasn't going to be vague
Well-
about the details. I was going to be vague about the location, but I kind of like alluded to the
Right.
location.
Yeah. Well then, you know what? We can save that story
Oh, no, I
for
think that story should happen.
another day.
That story has to happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't have to do it today.
No, it should. Well, it doesn't have to.
Nah, we don't
Well,
have
you still
to.
have to edit out what I said because it still alludes to a story I'm going to tell.
I don't have to do anything.
You absolutely do.
No, I don't. You barely alluded to anything at all.
What
An
happened
event. That's all we know.
in my
There's an
in my
event
brain,
and something
I was
happened.
thinking, how do I tell this story without alluding to where it happened? And then the first thing I did was, speaking of where it happened, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. I can't do
That's
that.
okay. This is a little inside baseball for the listener.
Oh, yeah. I
Plus,
mean,
it's just the listener.
I've
By
got-
the way,
I've got so many notes. We didn't get
speaking-
to any of them.
that's okay. Save the notes for another time. This is good. We need like episodes.
Yeah, but the notes are mostly like biz that we need to air on the show about the future of the show.
oh,
It's like these
We
are
can do it
things.
next
These are
time.
things like the sooner we get to, the sooner the better.
we'll do it next time. It's okay.
That's all
It's
right.
all right. Pump the brakes. We have a listener,
Yeah.
and you know what?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to shout him out. Matt from work. Thank you for listening.
Oh, nice, Matt.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
He even said he wants to be called whatever fans of our show would be called, and I
We
said,
don't do that.
Oh, we don't have fans of our show. I don't know what we call
Morons.
them. And so he said, I'll just call them horse girl. I'm a horse girl.
Okay, that
too."
works. That's nice.
And I was like, okay, great. That makes everything
Lo-
real simple.
losers,
Freaking why?
jackasses. The same thing I
And
call.
that's for you, Matt.
The same thing
Thank
I
you
call.
so much for listening.
Thank you, jackass, Matt. No, Matt, you rule. I'm sorry you have to work with Alexa. She doesn't really know what she's doing.
No, I know nothing, honestly. But it's not my fault. I've been there for 5 months and no one's caught on. So
They've not caught on that you've been there for 5 months.
yeah, they're George Costanzaing me. I'm just like in a room alone getting paid
You're
because nobody likes me.
Drinking scotch with.
But they can't fire
drinking
me.
scotch with the cleaning lady.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
Pretty much. Giving her cashmere.
That's the coolest thing George ever did. Like by a mile, right? By a mile, right?
Fucking
That's
the
the coolest
cleaning
thing
lady?
George ever did.
I don't know. Oh man, we've been watching so much Seinfeld.
Oh, I know.
Season 6 is the best season, and that's just the truth.
The God's
It's
honest
like
truth.
hit after hit after hit. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Mid show, mid season.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
not as familiar with it. Like I know the hits. I've never like
Well, that's
watched
what-
it start to finish.
Yeah, that's why I had to like pause because I was like, these are all hits. What season are we in? And it was 6. So I'm saying it right now from my lips to God's ears.
Ooh.
I don't know.
My-
I on the spot made an ear sound.
Okay. Yeah. My lips to God's pussy. Which he's got them both. He has both.
Do you think he uses he him pronouns?
Depends on if you ask
He, they.
if you ask the church, yes.
Well, I'm not asking them.
Oh, you're asking me. I can't. I'm not qualified to speak on this.
That's true. You're not.
No, you'd have to ask him.
Well, you know what? To the listener, I say thank you. To Will, I say thank you.
Thank you. And I say
And-
to you, thank you.
As said in last week's episode that will be released very soon.
Oh, right, yeah. That was on my notes that this week's episode still hasn't gone out.
Yeah, well, Matt's the only listener and he's behind, so it's fine.
That's not acceptable. That's not an acceptable excuse.
To the listener, I say,
We've got a timeline.
I hope you like dogs.